You know what I will say? I feel like the reason why that live stream that I was just doing did that weird shit to the point where, like, I don't know, like maybe I went through a back area of the internet in the house and it cut it off, but that don't happen on this phone because I'm on my phone. I'm on my new phone. So that's weird, right? That happened because my iPhone, it will drop the signal. For some reason it's been interrupting the thing to where I have to close it out and open up the app back up and then resume the stream. Well, I had to start over a different stream. I had to restart it because it kept going in a loop. Okay. So I retitled it. Okay. I retitled it. And yeah, to what it is. And I'm sitting up here just talking and talking and talking and can't nobody hear me. You know what that is? You know what I truly believe that it is that time? I believe that it is that bitter egregore that did that. That bitter egregore that is on YouTube and in a lot of social media. Okay? That's truly what I believe did that. Like, normally I don't say that, but it's really weird because it was random when I decided to go live and talk about this. So now I'm not going to be here that long, guys, because hold on, y'all. Okay, I hope y'all can hear me. So, like I was saying, I'm gonna try to give y'all cliff notes. Ah, no, no, can't use that one. And then wildlife experts responded and safely removed the deer. Yeah, that's done. That's done right there. Okay. I truly believe that it was that bitter egregore that did that to that live. Let me try to give you guys a Cliff Notes version. Because I'm about to eat me a chili burger, a chili cheeseburger. So I can't be here that long. Okay? So, what I was talking about, basically, only I retitled it. Because I'm about to say this right now. This is a vlog. I am in love. Okay? And I wanted to speak about how um what things the I wanted to cover with y'all and talk about when the gang stalking started, okay? And some of the things that they would do. So basically it started a long time ago, 2013, right? And back in 2013, I literally only became friends with this person, okay? De Niro. We were just friends. We were just playing around on Messenger. I wasn't planning on meeting that dude. There was never any talks about that. In fact, he did say, come down to Georgia, Shawty, or whatever, but I didn't, that's not why I came. That's not why I ended up going to Georgia. I wasn't even talking to him at that time. But that's not the point. That's not what's important. What is important is that the moment the gang stalkers found out that, me and him were literally just Facebook friends, that's it. which wasn't shit to me. And still to this day, nothing ever will happen between me and that dude, right? Nothing ever. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't gonna get into all of the history. But basically, they began to talk about all of these disgusting things like lesbianism, which is something that is a fucking turnoff for me, rape, uh, molestation, incest, all of these disgusting things. And I wanted to come on here and say this to normal black women, not women like Talia, normal black women. Okay. Y'all want to be careful on here because literally for me, something that I want is a man my age or a little older. Okay. And I got that. You know what I'm saying? I got who I wanted. Okay. Uh, that's just a normal person. Like these dudes in social media are not fucking normal. And they hate me when I say that. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. They get to attacking me because they want to be able to come on this website and meet people. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm saying for me. I'm not saying that everybody on this website. I'm talking about specifically that sector. They'll come on here and they'll say they were saying all kind of disgusting things. And if you're into that kind of conversation, then more power to you. For me back then, I literally was like just running into those people and they all on here, lying. And we know about the smear campaign, but it was literally every single day. Every single day. Here I am, a woman. I was 37 years old at the time, 36 or 37. I think I was like 36. And it was all you old. Oh, don't nobody want them stretch marks you got on your stomach from having baby. It was like literally like literally it was a psychological attack, right? And so I just, for me, I've always been able to separate myself from bullshit. And so they're saying all of this shit in social media, but in the background, I was single at the time as well as celibate. Okay. At that time back then, I was single and had not met my man yet. Right. So, but still, even as a completely single woman that was not in love with a man, I wasn't in love with nobody. Okay. I wasn't even in love with the father of my daughters. We were broke up. Okay. He was hanging in the background because I got kids with him, but I was like a blank slate at that time, right? Not a blank slate, but I was completely single and not involved with anybody, right? So I felt like those people were trying to narrate my psyche, or either maybe they had me fucked up because they do have me fucked up every day. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because of this. What is going on with a person that comes to social media and literally, if they know that a woman is single, they're attacking her and talking about disgusting things and just being the worst human being in the world. And I'm going to tell y'all why. That group of people that comes on here every day with some bullshit, most of them, and I think that it's all of them to keep it going, because I think that when you decide, hey, I want to do better, let me walk away from this bullshit, because you're not getting anywhere. You can go live and speak good sense to people every single day. It's not gonna fucking change them. It's not. You're not gonna, and of course I know that, and that's not what I'm trying to do at all. But for the most part, that group is an attack on black women. That's a fact. And you can be a black woman and try to make yourself look special. Like, oh, and then a lot of them black women are attacking each other. My point is that what I was saying is that this is how you start suffering from like possible depression. You can start suffering from anxiety listening to crap like that. You can start to have fibroid tumors. If you are a single black woman, the last place and the last people that you need to be listening to is that group of people. Because what they're going to do is they can create disease within your body. Those people have an agenda against black women. That is a fact, and it's purposely pinpointed on your love life and sex, which is why they're constantly trying to say things to sexually violate you and do things to sexually violate you. They will go that far with the shit, right? It's a militia group against black women whenever you get through, and they fooling a lot of people, right? Or either it's a lot of people that are just fucking stupid. I've been knowing and been very familiar with that situation for years. So I know exactly what they up to. If you a normal black woman out here like myself, they coming at me talking about, oh, you're a dyke and you had sex with this girl at a young age. Like, no, I didn't. Oh, well, you fucking your kids. Oh, you fucking your family members. Oh, you that shit right there, that shit right there is where they are trying to possibly curse you sexually or fuck up your head or stress you out or just, you know what I'm saying? And so what I was talking about in that last live is it's not just about messing you up socially, right? It's not just about that, but a lot of them what they made it clear to me that they were doing, which they will always fail because you will be binded. You're not going to be allowed. Hecate is gatekeeping, and that's why they want to hex Hecate again. Okay, that's it's been rumored and that's been going around. They will try to put spell work behind it. For some reason, it's weird. And I think that it's just bitter people. I think it's bitter people that have their certain opinion. This is why I've been telling people for the longest time. When you see a vlogger or an influencer trying to carry on like they are a love or sex guru, you have to be very careful with that. Because especially if they are coming bitter or a conservative point of view. You have to be careful with people like that because those people are factually hurting in some kind of way. They're bitter. I don't care what anybody says. If you are on here actively doing stuff like that to where it's like you're a normal sexually functioning human being, and you are coming at that person with a bunch of weird sexual fetishes and saying weird stuff to them, you do not have what you claim that you have, because many of them are trying to front like they got a man or they got a husband. Those people don't. I don't believe it. I don't believe that a lot of those men have real relationships. It's like you're dealing with robots or something. They're like bots or something. It's very bizarre. Okay. So I want to warn you guys, especially if you're with somebody that you really love, please be careful coming on here, listening to people like that. Please. Like, for example, you'll hear somebody talking about sex between a man and a woman. And next thing you know, they're talking about molestation and children's bodies being chopped and burned up. That is like you're under, yeah, y'all gotta understand that these people were given a YouTube channel, but what they're doing with their YouTube channel is just basically spreading their mental disease around to other people, especially if you're young. Especially if you're young. Be very, very, very careful. There's one chick on here. I'm not going to bring up her name, okay? But it's not anybody that I've been talking about. But you'll probably know who I'm talking about. I'll give you a hint, right? She's a vlogger that pretty much, encourages women to go for the bag, get a man to pay all her bills and all that stuff. And it's nothing wrong with that, right? But I noticed that one of my daughters was watching her and it was influencing her. And I told her, I warned her about that. I warned her about that. I said, I said, yeah, you definitely do want, because, my daughter, both of my daughters had men with jobs. Okay. And so do I. My man has a job. Okay. Very responsible. So the thing of it is this. These people on the internet hurt people want to hurt people. Period. End of story. Hurt people want to hurt people. And a lot of these people on this website are hurting. They have nothing positive to say to you about anything. Okay. There are some people that are just like that, especially this group of people, and it freaking sucks. It does. It really sucks that they're on here instead of going to see a therapist or something. You know what I'm saying? They say that YouTube is their therapy, but basically what they're doing is they're just projecting all of their pain and hurt and sorrow to people, and wanting people to go through it with them, right? So and it's a lot of hate. It's a lot of hate, which is why a lot of people are like, keep your person out of social media, straight up and down. Like there are some couples that they are in social media and maybe they have strong enough relationships to do that. I know that for me and my dude, me and him are just starting out. I don't think I will ever bring him to social media because, unless all of these people just so happen to drop dead one day and the shit stops, or either the government go ahead and rounds them all up and throws them all in prison. Because what they want to do, and I personally think this is what I think of that black sector, I think that every single man and woman in that black sector is secretly gay, bisexual, or lesbian. And I think that what they want to do, first of all, this has nothing to do with gay people. I think that this specific group of people that we're talking about, I believe that they're miserable. They are miserable, right? And for some reason, they thought, hey, highly favored, they thought that, I think that there are some people that think because they need to work on themselves. I think it's some people that think, you know, maybe they had an experience with a person of the opposite sex, and that experience was so bad that perhaps it's meant for them to be gay, right? I do think that it's a lot of fugazi people out there, okay? I do. I think that you're gay because of trauma. That's really what I think, okay? Because especially if some of y'all women have actually went through the fake shit that I dealt with, which I'm not bringing it up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go through it, but it was something that I dealt with, and I dealt with it. Trust me. Okay. Um, if y'all went through something like that, that's really fucked up. And I do know that there are some of y'all that went through trauma in the home. Okay. So, those of you that every single day, you take on a positive perspective and you do good, I'm good with y'all. But the people that are literally running around here doing hurt things because they are hurt, been doing it, you know what I'm saying? Those people are on an agenda because they have given up on life. You know what I'm saying? Especially the ones that will come on here and tell women that are in their 40s, 50s, or 60s, or 70s that they are too old for love. Who are you to tell somebody anything? You don't dictate people's love to them. So yeah, I was hearing one of them, even though I kind of feel like this lady needs to catch herself before she dips too far into the rabbit hole. Because she's sharing some of my stalkers materials or whatever, which is fine with me. But the problem is that no, she's not too old for somebody to love her. She can go out there and meet somebody her age. Yes, you can. There are plenty of people, I have seen it. I have seen it. Y'all ever been to a bingo night? I ain't never been there, but I can imagine that people meet all the time. So that's not true. That's something that social media made up. You can always find the person that's for you no matter what age you are. And I think it's disgusting that they're doing that. If you want to fall for that and believe in that and tell Jamila that she's a dumb, Negro bitch because you want to chase after pain and suffering, that's your deal. That do that then. Okay, do that. Because I've actually been positive to a lot of people, and guess what those people have done? Those people have spit in my damn face, literally, like oh girl, the lesbian that I interviewed on my channel. And she went right to the dysfunction. When and that was a positive interaction that I had with her, but people like her are incapable of that. She's incapable of a positive interaction. You know what I'm saying? So just be careful on here, man. Especially some of these people with a large following. Okay. People with a large following. This is what can make them dangerous. When they are saying something totally stupid, right? But they got a following that follows them because they don't know what else to follow, right? What you're dealing with is a source of power, right? So then that's why you'll go into that situation. You'll be like, well, this sounds like some bullshit. I don't agree with that. But then again, I agree with that. But then again, well, sometimes or whatever, you may be on the fence with some things you don't agree with. But then you start feeling like your real life is being affected by what you're watching, right? And what you're listening to. And you like, oh, I'm about to unfollow this person because what and the what and the what. But the problem is that you're already tapped into that consciousness. That's why, for real, like in social media began to be a breeding ground for that, for social control, economic control, sexual control over you. And, next thing you know, you ain't even said nothing. You just watching the situation, which is why I protect my followers, because you never know. Well, one day y'all might decide to come in and pay me for some spiritual work. So I'm big enough to do that. You know what I'm saying? I can do that. Okay. My power source is infinite. Okay. But, a lot of these people that y'all watching, y'all are battling with an egregore of groups of people. Now, also, it is AI. AI has somewhat of a power source. So even if you're following somebody that has an artificial audience, hearing what they're saying repetitively, seeing what they're typing repetitively, this is programming you and training your brain to accept certain things as a reality, if not an inevitability. So y'all got to be careful out here. You got to keep your mind strong. And a lot of these people that you're following, they don't want your mind to be strong. They want you to follow them and they want to control you. Why? Well, hell, they under control. Whatever is controlling them want to control you. And see, that is what makes me stick out and stand out like a sore thumb. And I don't care because I'm going to be me. I'm not going to be what you want me to be. Never. Never. And you can't kill me and you can't bother. You can't kill me. You can't kill my lover. You can't kill my children. You can't do nothing to my grandchildren. You can't do nothing. Nobody can't do nothing to my family. You can't do you can't. End the story, baby. Because like I said, my power is infinite. Okay. Just be careful out here, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these people, this is one of the reasons why spirit felt like it was like an abomination. A lot of these people, be careful who you talk to about love. Be careful who you talk to about sex. And that's not just women, but that's men too. Be careful who you are listening to and the information that you are taking in, especially if you just got out of a situation that was meant to traumatize you. Don't come out here looking and seeking for that bitterness that you can connect to be angry. Find something else. If anything ever happens, soul search. If you're in a relationship with somebody that you love and something is happening, you got to search for their soul. Soul search. Don't come on here looking for somebody to be bitter with. That's the mistake that y'all making. And they gonna hate me, hate me, hate me. I mean, literally just for telling y'all this information, they are gonna go live. They are gonna tell me that I'm a whore, that my kids are whores, and we ain't shit. We ain't about nothing. But guess what? Everything that I just said to you and everything that I say to you does not match that energy. That don't go together. I'm not speaking from a perspective of a whore or somebody that ain't no good. I'm giving y'all information that's gonna heal you, that's gonna make your life better, that's going to um bring you that happiness and that completion that you're waiting for. Now we can sit up here and say, you know what, honestly, I was, like I said, I was single and I was celibate for years. When after I gave birth to Jacob, I put a lot of my focus into exploring and researching and studying my spirituality. I put a lot of my research, I put a lot of my energy into my kids. You know what I'm saying? So, and just doing the normal family things. Sex was like on the back burner unless I was by myself with my vibrator or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still a woman. I know that some people don't feel comfortable with that because a lot of y'all that have those succubus and incubus spirits connected to you, they can really make you feel uncomfortable when it comes to things like that, especially if you've been through sexual trauma. So, I'm just letting y'all know where I'm coming from my perspective, even though these people were saying all these things to me, that, things that unfortunately could lead to a sexual disconnect, and you're not experiencing that tantric connection with a partner, or if you have a partner, you're not experiencing that with them, which is what's leading to separation. You know what I'm saying? Or either just being kind of like isolated from each other or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so be careful listening to people that are talking about a lot of sexual immorality. This has nothing to do with me. And I've been completely venerated and, what do you call that? Exonerated. So, I'm not worried about that. What they want to do, and even the reason why they was messing with me, is because they want to twist and tangle up your mind, your body, and your spirit. That's what they're up to. And what other way to do that would be through the womb, through the sacral chakra, through talking about sex, or bringing up sexual things. You know what I'm saying? Constantly bombarding you with certain things. Like, for example, how you gonna find the man that you're meant to be with, or the woman that you're meant to be with, when you're constantly talking about sexual situations that are repulsive or immoral? You can't do that because, no, unless you're trained to do that, unless you're like a police officer, maybe a doctor, maybe you can handle that, or somebody like me, because, those sexual demons don't bother me. Okay. You have to literally clear your head of all of that, especially if it's something being said that's meant to put you in an emotional state of turmoil and hate. Because I can promise you that every man walking around the earth, no matter what, um, no matter what race they are, all of them ain't pedophiles. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Okay. So we got a whole lot of stuff like that going on. And they want to keep bringing up weird shit. That's why I did not listen. That's all we've been hearing about. The past 4 months, Epstein files, all that crap. How you gonna find love if you focusing on some weirdo like that? Okay, you know about it. Okay, put that out of your mind and go and do you. Find love. That and so I don't think that they were purposely, like, I don't think that the government was purposely trying to do that. I think that they just wanted to get the word out. And then plus, when it comes to, politicians and the political aspect of it, um, I believe that, they wanted attention, they wanted all eyes on them. And then also you got the Democrats against the Republicans, when really, it's just a bunch of bullshit. Okay. Seriously. What you got though is a very broken society, and you've got broken people in this society, right? And those people don't want to suffer alone. They're suffering. They have no idea how to change their suffering. Even if somebody told them, they wouldn't listen. So what do? They make YouTube channels so that they can say a bunch of disgusting, repulsive things and keep your mind on certain things. And yes, a lot of people are saying to me, hey, well, then why not just not respond? You know what I'm saying? And I get that. I get that so much. However, I know how to separate that from my real life. And then plus, when it's a time to speak out, it is a time to speak out. So everything that I speak about is led by spirit and the Most High. Okay. So, of course, but at the same time, if y'all not seeing, I'm transmuting all of that at the same time as I'm speaking about it. When I'm speaking about something negative, I'm transmuting it. So I'm just not stuck on no negative stuff. I wish that we didn't have to talk about stuff like this. I wish that we could just all be happy and make fried dandelions every day. But unfortunately, we can't do that, especially when you got people that are on that agenda. And I want y'all to be careful, because that's why a lot of y'all are having infertility problems. Y'all are having fibroid tumor problems. Some men are having erectile dysfunction problems. You have to be careful what you're listening to. And so everything that you want, you're okay, they purposely want to cock block you. Okay. And they don't, and I, for lack of better words, okay, they want to cock block you, right? I'm gonna use that word. But they're really trying to block you from other things, because society wants you to be as sick as possible. We can sit up here and say, oh, the government is da 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 da, but the last time I checked, I'm not even going to go there on this channel. I'm not going to go there on here. Okay. I'm not going to start talking about medical and all of this stuff. We're not going to go there. Society wants to keep you sick. People in society, not all of society, but people in society wants to keep you sick. They do. And they're willing to do just about anything to do it, right? And they always have to use a person. Okay. Now, my energy is not being allowed to be used for that. My energy has been blocked. You can use my image. You can use my children's image. It doesn't matter. My energy is not there. Okay. And you can't force it. I don't want my energy or my image, nobody that I love's image, to be used for something like that, because basically what they want to do is they want to hurt you and damage you, because they are so hurt and damaged that they don't know how to fix themselves. Okay. And as a healer, that's what I do as a healer, right? It's hard. It ain't easy either. It's getting easier. It's getting easier healing folks. You know what I'm saying? Because spirit has been giving me a lot of information that I am now ready to use. Okay. And I definitely got a tight grip on it. Okay. But there are some people that they can't listen. They have either been diagnosed with ADHD, they can't pay attention, all sorts of reasons why, and you can't worry about them. You have to worry about yourself. Okay. You have to worry about your loved ones. You have to worry about the people that matter to you. You can't fix all of society. You can't do it. You want to. You want the whole world to change, but the whole world is not going to change. You've got people that are functioning and living under different frequencies. And it just is what it is. And why throw why throw away your life and the people out there that are meant for you because somebody said that we need to be stuck on everybody, every single person on this earth being on the same consciousness, which is not going to happen. It isn't. It's like I told you, we all live and exist in different realities, and one other person's perception is their reality, and it needs to be deferred than yours, especially if it's a very negative. Okay. All right, guys, we'll talk about this a little bit more later, but I just wanted to say this, like, when it comes to my man that I'm with, he is 100% the only person that's on my mind all day, every day. And y'all know how it is when you in love, like it feels like that, like even when you're not together, like when they at work or you at work or y'all or in a separate location, it always feels like that person is right there. It just somehow, I have came on here and discussed certain things for business purposes and for spiritual purposes so that y'all can understand what it is that you're dealing with. What is it exactly that you're with on here? Why are these people doing what they're doing? Why are they on here trying to sexually abuse, body shame, and violate women, especially black women? You know what? As a black woman, you cannot take that in. And so that's why it was shocking. Hey, can you put some um I was shocked, y'all, to see so many people lined up to watch these very demeaning people in social media who were literally demeaning them. It's shocking. It wasn't the whole world doing it, but it was too many. Okay. When it comes to social media and who I follow, let me tell y'all who I follow. I follow Guga Foods. Okay. Love Guga. Emmy Made. I look at Sass, and because y'all know I'm a foodie. But then again, when it comes to like other vloggers and stuff, it's few and far between. I like to look at a lot of cooking channels, but then also I like artistic projects and stuff, like, especially when it comes to some of the witches that do, like, there's this amazing girl on TikTok. Uh, she is amazing. She does like a lot of these epoxy resin little altars and stuff. It's really cute. So I say that to say, be careful who you watch out here, okay? Be careful because those people were put in a place for a reason. And I already know they're going to try to attack me. They can't spiritually attack me. Like, there's so many, y'all, I have fought and kicked ass for the longest, every single day, effortlessly. All these different egregores and collective consciousness, they don't like me because I am in opposition. Okay. Well, you know what? You shouldn't have came for me then. You shouldn't have came for my people then. We ain't included. Oh, okay. I see you over there doing that. That's gonna give you cancer and some kind of something. And you're gonna do something. And you're gonna be sad and lonely. And we ain't included in that, honey. We not included. We not included in degradation. denigration. We're not included in that. Simple. Okay. So, that's just what that is. But just be careful, guys. I know that for me, um, my focus is on, again, I like for my man to be very nice to me. He can be stern with me sometimes, but he's just really just, oh my God. Mm, you know what I mean? That's who you should be focused on, is somebody that is a positive reinforcement in your life. When you come on here and you listen to all these males on here with malevolent things to say about any woman, okay? Oh, you a bitch, you a hoe, this and that. Is that the kind of man you want in your life? Is that how you want somebody to talk to you? See what I'm saying? Ever, even if it's an argument. I have romantic arguments with my man all the time. It don't be like an argument, it just be like a romantic type of thing. You don't want to deal with, hey, do better, want better for yourselves, want better for yourselves. Okay? Because they tried to force me into toxicity. They tried to force lesbianism on me. That was weird. Very strange. So, just be careful with these people, y'all. Take everything that they say with a grain of salt, because they're unhappy. They don't want you to be happy. That's all that it's about. It's about the game of misery. I'm miserable, and I want these people to be miserable as well. So I am going to be careful with that. However, I want you guys to know that when I come on here and I give them people a dose of medicine, when I come on here and I get in their ass, don't ever feel sorry for them, because that is the verbal assault that they need, because I'm trying to protect all of us from them. And that's just all it is to it. Okay. Because they wrong and they know they wrong. Straight up and down. They wrong and they know they wrong. It's sin. But I don't want to be doing that because there's like I'm getting ready to get into candle making projects again. I'm getting ready to, because I have my own kitchen. I'm getting ready to get into just like a few different things. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even, it's kind of like I've already conquered. Why go back and forth? But I see them. The reason why is because I still see them using my name and my image, using my name and my image to try to draw people in. I'm gonna let spirit and the Most High handle that. Okay. Aside from when spirit tells me to come and speak out, I'll do it. But other than that, I wanted to make that perfectly clear. That I don't know, everybody that I see in everyday life, it's very respectful. Before, when I get off the phone with any of my kids, when I tell them good night, it's always I love you. There's never any toxicity. I don't live like that. You see what I'm saying? So, I don't like it, but if I got to check somebody, I'm going to do it. That doesn't mean that it's a way of life for me. So, just to let y'all know that. And especially when it comes to the way that I talk to my man, I will never disrespect my dude. Never. Never ever. And he know it. And it ain't that I'm afraid of him. It's just that it's certain stuff. It's certain people. What the fuck is the point in being with somebody if they're not special? They are. He is special. He is special. So I'm gonna talk to him like somebody that's special. I'm gonna treat him like a Fabergé egg, and I expect him to treat me the same way. And that ain't even nothing that we had to talk about. It's just automatic. See what I'm saying? So all that toxicity and stuff, y'all got to get out of it, especially a lot of you young folk. And then y'all got to understand, well, where is that coming from? Because I done seen people wow out, and I'll be like, oh my God, trust me, I'm good at pinpointing possession. Y'all be under possession sometimes. And it don't matter if you young. People say, well, they young and they hot headed. No, mm-mm. Don't even go there with me. If I could do my 20s all over again, I would. Okay, but that doesn't mean that as a woman that is, my age, like I'm gonna look back and say, well, dang, I wish that I would have known this and now. No, I'm gonna educate the youth because I want y'all youth to be better. Because I'm still young, but I'm turning 29 this summer. No, I'm joking, not 29. I'm actually turning 26 this summer. Okay. Um, and yeah, but just know that, okay? Just know that. I'm not the type, I'm not hating on younger folk. It's a lot of older people out here. They just got hatred for no reason for younger people. Teach them. Teach them. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're here for. We're actually supposed to be ministering to the youth and everything. We're not supposed to be competing against them and stuff. That's just something wrong with that. I know younger folk can be disrespectful to older people. That's a whole different story. But when you purposely trying to damage younger people because you regret your life, like, come on now. Like, get happy. Get happy. Okay. It don't matter how old you are, whether or not you turning 49, because I'm turning 49 this summer, actually, y'all, but I'm 26 though. Okay. In real years. Um, I'm not going to sit up here and say, well, I'm 49 and my life is wasted because I never thought that way. Like when I turned 40, I didn't feel like I was going downhill. I don't think like that. So I'm going to do the best I can to make sure that the youth gets it, right? Because you don't know when, you know, just because you 50 or 60 doesn't mean that you getting ready to pass away tomorrow. Damn, people be acting like they about to die. That's why you got to live every day like it's your last. I guess then, don't be tripping off of stuff like that. Hell, you never know. You might live and be very young and vital up into your hundreds. You never know. And I wouldn't listen to people like that. Getting older doesn't mean that you have to be bitter. Hell. So that's pretty much it, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Hugs and kisses to y'all. Love you guys. Bye.